Hi, my name is Easter. I still remember the day that I had gone into the doctor's office and he looked at me and he said, "What happened to you? You're huge." I could not believe the words came out of his mouth like that, but they did. And he said, "How much do you weigh?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't weigh myself." He put me on the scale and the numbers 350 popped in front of my head. And it was like somebody had slapped me in the face. I could not begin to tell you how disgusted I was with myself, how disappointed, how angry I was with myself for letting go so badly, for just giving up on life in general and letting myself go so far. And when within the week my daughter came to me and said, "Mom, I had gotten some pretty serious medical conditions because of my weight." And she said, "Unless you lose weight, you're not going to live to see your granddaughters." Those two things just propelled me into thinking I have to do something. I want to live. I want to be healthy. I can't weigh 350 pounds. That's not me. That's not who I am. I don't want to be like this anymore. And I had a little bit of hope finally that maybe I could overcome these conditions. Maybe I could overcome the reasons I was eating so much, and maybe I could make a new way for myself. But what I didn't realize that one of the biggest hurdles I faced was not the numbers on the scale itself, but just how much self-doubt I had. You can't lose weight, Easter. You're never going to. Look how big you are. No, you're just going to keep on gaining. You're one of those people, and you're never going to lose weight, and you're never going to be able to handle life without it. And food is your only friend, and food makes you feel better. And all the other lies I told myself. But this voice in my head was like, "But you can't do it anyway, so who cares? You're not strong enough. You're not confident enough. You don't have the determination." Those voices were loud and they were terrifying because they kept me in fear for a really long time. And fear is what kept me from going forward because I had so much self doubt for so long that I couldn't take that first step. I was crippled by fear and self doubt. Fear and self doubt are very similar. They just have a little bit of a different face. But self doubt is just fear expressing itself differently. And I was afraid I would never, ever be able to change who or how I was. And I wanted so badly out of the place that I was in. And I didn't have even a shred of belief in myself anymore. When I first started my weight loss journey, self doubt kept whispering at me, "Oh, you're not doing it right. Oh, you're not going to lose any weight. Why bother? You're just going to gain it back." Honestly, it was truly exhausting, and I wondered whether it was worth the effort. Even though once I took that first step and started to see that I could get through a day without sugar and flour, and I could get through a week where I didn't binge, and I could get through a month where I actually lost 10 pounds, still the voice would be saying, "But this is just temporary. It's not going to stay. You're going to fail again." And I'd look in the mirror and I'd look at this person I didn't even recognize and I'd cringe. I'd cringe thinking, "Oh my God, how did you get here? How did you become this?" I was so upset with how I let myself go, but I was in that pattern of get upset, eat, get frustrated, eat, disappointed, eat. Even though I cringed when I looked in the mirror, it wasn't enough to propel me away from the food I thought I loved so much. There were days when I would wake up and I just didn't want to get out of bed, and I'd stay in bed and I would cocoon myself under the covers and I'd wrap myself in the blanket saying, "Oh, this is my cocooning time. I just need a break from the world." That is not a healthy thing to do. Maybe once in a while have a day where you take it easy, sure, but to do that for days and days at a time is not healthy. The thought of actually starting to change my eating plan, the thought of changing my lifestyle and starting some mobility was absolutely petrifying, to be quite honest with you. But the thing is, fear is so much bigger than the reality. Even though I was so stuck in a rut, I was isolated. I was lonely. I was sure I was the only person in the world that felt so defeated and so incapable of doing anything right again. Despite all of that, I decided to take a first step, and I decided to join an online meeting for overeaters, and I decided to change my lifestyle completely so I could get my life back, get my health back, get my energy back, and live to see my precious baby granddaughters live. And they are precious. They're 2.5 now. And you would never believe this, even though I couldn't bend over before. Now I run around with them. I throw them around. We play ballet games and follow the leader, and I hop around like a frog and a monkey and an airplane and a choo-choo train, and I do everything with them. And they're just the joy of my life. And the fact that I have the strength and I have the energy to do that now is astounding. If you had seen me 2.5 years ago, this massive person who could not walk across the room without losing her breath, could not walk up the stairs without having to stop halfway up for a minute to catch my breath, you would not believe that I am who I am today. I can't believe it, to be quite honest with you. Still, I get caught off guard when I realize, hey, I can walk those 4 flights of stairs without blinking an eye. I can go up the subway stairs because there's too many people waiting for the escalator and I don't have the patience. And it's just so beautiful to be on the other side of this. And self-doubt tried to stick around, and once in a while it shows its face up, even now, saying, oh, Easter, you can't do such and such. It's not about weight loss anymore. It might be about this channel, and why bother? It's not going to go anywhere, and it's not about going anywhere, but it lies to me and says that it is. It's about reaching people and giving them hope and giving you the ability to see that self-doubt is a lie and you can conquer it. Giving you the ability to see that even though you emotionally eat, there are better coping strategies that will help you turn away from the food and will help you to get into a healthy place where you're dropping weight. Because slowly, as I addressed the reasons I ate and I addressed the pain and the heartaches that I had been through in life, that is where the healing came, and that is where the magic came, because I didn't need the food to deal with the emotions I buried because they weren't buried anymore. I worked through them. I let them go. And doubt didn't have any room in my head anymore. The voice wasn't allowed in because I would recognize and say, oh, no, yeah, I'm not listening to this. You're just a liar. I am losing weight, or I've lost all my weight, and I can do anything I set my mind to. And you're not going to have room in here with me anymore. I remember the first time I looked in the mirror, I think I'd lost maybe 30 pounds. And I was really happy that the weight was dropping. And when I looked in the mirror, there was a change. Now, physically, 30 pounds off of 350 pounds isn't very much. So there wasn't much of a physical change, but my face had changed. There was a light in my eyes. There was a spark there. There was a little bit of my shine coming back again. And I saw this and it was like, oh my God, I can do this. Oh my God, I can do this. And I was proud of myself for the first time in years. And I was able to celebrate and really rejoice with every little victory I had and give myself the applause I needed to give myself. I realized that if I lost 30, I could lose 30 more. And if I lose 30 more, then I could lose 30 more. And I'm going to get myself down to where I wanted to be. Now that changed as time went on because I thought I was going to settle for just being less weight. But then I realized why? Why would I not want to lose all of the weight? Because I had doubted I could ever get back down to a normal body size again. I had doubted my strength. I had doubted my capabilities. And self-doubt is loud, but you know what? Victory is louder. When you take the first step, self-doubt suddenly isn't quite as strong. When you lose 10 pounds, self-doubt doesn't seem quite as viable anymore. It loses its credibility. So don't listen to that voice in your head telling you you can't do it, because it's just a liar. It's just fear showing itself in a different way. And if you live in fear and you don't take that first step, you will never know the joy of how amazing even making that decision is, because that's a huge step. Making the decision, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm starting now, I'm starting today, is powerful. It is empowering. It is life changing. So, if you are swimming with self doubt, please listen to me. Don't listen to it because it is going to tell you lies for as long as you let it. Don't let it. If you hear it whispering in your ear, say to yourself, no, I am a strong person. I'm strong enough to take a first step. I'm strong enough to take a second step. I'm strong enough to take the step after that, because we only do things one little bit at a time. It's progress, not perfection. It's consistency. It's showing up. It's engaging and doing your best. And even if you have bad days, and I know that happens to some of you, because you tell me if you have a bad day, it doesn't matter. Get back on the highway and don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay that things go sideways sometimes. You just pull yourself back to the center. You start moving forward again. Don't get stuck in self doubt. Don't get stuck in, oh, I messed up. No, that's looking backwards. Look forward. Be positive. Be kind to yourself and expect great things to happen, because they will. I want you to know, if this is an area you're struggling self doubt, you are not alone. It's very common when we have a lot of weight to lose, and like if you're like me, 200 pounds, obese, and medical problems, and at the time I was very depressed. I had no belief in myself at all. And I really feel bad for how I was at that time in my life. I feel sad for who I was at that time in my life, because I think all those years that I was so sad, I could have been living this joyful, happy life where life isn't easy, but my attitude has changed. I don't listen to the negativity. I don't absorb negative thoughts anymore. I don't let negativity be my identity anymore. I don't let, oh, you'll never be able to, ever play in my head, because my journey of weight loss has given me confidence, not because I look better, but because I did it. And I want you to experience the same thing. And if this is something you want, leave me a comment. If self doubt is something that stops you from moving forward, leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. Let's build together, because together we can do it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if this resonated with you, please subscribe and come back for more, because I'm always coming back with more. And I will see you soon.